And then there was even that one who I don't know, like the only really like the hardcore like Lovecraft fans might get this one, but there was also a poster of Die Monster Die with Boris Karloff, and it was a poster I wanted, and I went over to the guy and asked him how much it was, and he just looked at me and just kind of like put his hand on my shoulder and just like, it's over several $100s, man, and it's like, oh, it's like, yeah. Oh.
Well, it's because it was an original poster.
It's
for
an
when
original
the movie first
one.
came out.
It's kind of rare, so I'm not selling it for anything under $100. And it's like, oh, okay. And I just moped away.
Yeah, poor dejected cultist.
Yeah. One day you will be mine.
Yeah, this is the problem with cults. They don't often have really good funding.
No. Oh, hell, we're broadcasting for free. I mean, well.
Pretty much.
Oh, man.
Anyway, speaking of cults, creationism.
Yay!
That is some of the most ridiculous stuff I've ever seen. I mean...
Yeah, there's actually several teams from creationists who have gone down to Egypt to try and prove that there is a layer of fossilized frogs beneath the deserts of Egypt.
Good luck.
Yeah,
Sandblasting things tends to destroy stuff like that.
Yeah. Even if it was there, I mean, the chances are there wouldn't actually... Because they said it's like, oh, well, it's like, since the Bible is true, there has to be a huge layer of frogs on the ground, of dead frogs in the beneath the sands of Egypt. And
well, here's the
thing.
Within the time span between the Bible and now, assuming that there was indeed a huge plague of frogs, all of those bodies would have been turned into more sand. Yeah. They would have been ground away into nothing.
Yeah.
The only reason we find so many other fossils that exist is because they got really, really strong bone structures, or they are huge. Like within like clay or amber or something that will preserve them.
I do remember sticking with the creationism theme. I do remember watching a documentary on how the ancient world could have had a flood, because they said that the flood started from above and below the earth, like the rain came from above and below the world, and they said that there was like
that's easily explainable. Glaciers melting,
and then like huge torrential rain because of a heat surge that was in the air at the time. So monsoons and that in that area would have seemed like a flood.
Absolutely. That's entirely plausible.
They were actually. Did you remember?
But here's the thing: what they're doing is they're going to try. They're out to prove the Bible right rather than proving science wrong, or just finding out the facts. Science, for instance, is not out to prove anything. They're just out to find the facts. They're out to find out what actually happened, not to prove whether or not something happened, just to find out what was going on.
Yeah, what happened. It's very that's the thing. Like religion and science, science is very neutral in the way we proceed.
It is entirely neutral.
At least in theory, it's supposed to be. There's some people that some scientists that are like, I am God.
Yeah, and that's the
Dr.
thing.
Leviathan is a good example of that.
Yeah.
But like stuff like that. But for the majority, science is very neutral in its beliefs, whereas the religious are very like, my religion is right and yours is wrong, and we're gonna prove it.
Well, it's more like they have faith.
Yeah.
Whereas science is more about truth rather than faith.
And faith is a good thing, but it's also
not saying that faith and truth are not that they can't go together. It's just that sometimes they conflict, and this is one of those situations.
Yeah, I remember.
Just trying to stay on the topic of creationism in particular, just because it's so batshit stupid. Well, here's one thing: the creation of the world within such a short period of time. When, well...
Are there still people who believe that, like the fact that we've been around for, several million, billion years is, they still think that's bullshit?
Yeah.
Wow.
Well, I actually have an uncle who believes it. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. When I found out about it, I was like, wow, he's no longer the cool uncle.
Ouch. Shazam! Pwned. Jesus. Oh, man.
I mean... I don't care what you say. I'm not trying to put down religion or the Bible at all in this. Just this one particular cult. Because they think it's supposed to be taken literally.
Yeah.
When it's not. It can't be. It's been proven that it can't be taken literally.
To quote one thing that an archaeologist, or that a historian said, that I remember in history class back in high school, the Christians of the Roman era had to do a lot of symbolism because otherwise they were going to get eaten. They were going to get sent to the lion cage. So they had like a lot of their like. Actually, Christianity itself started as a cult in Rome, or some of it started as a cult in Rome. They were in catacombs and they were in sewers and stuff like that, and they had Jesus, and they had portraits of a man like Jesus that was Jesus with a lamb, and the lamb was actually humanity. He was carrying humanity, and then they use symbols like the fish and stuff like that, and so it's like it's really like that's really what the religion's about. It's not to be taken literally; it's supposed to be taken symbolically.
Pretty much.
You're
supposed to follow the faith and not follow
follow the messages. Don't follow the stories.
Yes.
Like there may have been a
It's like
giant.
that. It's like that whole. There's the whole truth and fiction thing going on there. That's what that is.
I mean, there may have been a giant named Goliath in the Philistines, or somebody who was that big, and there may have been a small man who took him out, and then that story got made up or got thing.
Well, this
but
is what
it's
happens
been
with stories.
twisted around and symbolized that it no longer has real credibility.
This is what happens when you pass a message on to someone and they really like the story. They relay it to someone else and they exaggerate it just a little bit without even meaning to.
Yeah.
And then it just sort of snowballs from there.
It's like a phone tag. So I mean.
Yeah.
I mean, this is Christianity's nothing like. I mean, you don't get that kind of thing in the elder.
I like how you keep coming back to that particular religion there. And I guess the only reason we keep referencing it is just because they're so big.
Famous.
It's
so popular.
It's become such a huge organization
in Western society. So.
Well, let me finish my train of thought here. It's become such a huge and popular organization that there's just so many different takes on it and so many negative things that result of it just because it exists.
Yeah.
Even if it goes completely against the grain of its actual spirit, it's just something that can't be helped.
Yeah.
Makes you kind of feel sorry for him.
I just teared up a minute there.
Oh God.
Oh man.
Well, it kind of makes me wonder if they're the bigger of the bigger group of that religion. Why is it that Catholicism has the Pope?
I don't know. But no, because I think isn't Roman Catholic, so and Rome was the biggest head honcho later on in its society career to
empire.
Yeah, exactly. And it's funny that you say that because the Pope right now looks like Emperor Palpatine.
Unlimited power.
Oh God. Okay, I think we should probably get away from the culting thing for now. I wouldn't actually mind talking about the our little discussion we had earlier about Mickey Mouse being
oh God,
the Arlie
yes.
So we're looking at we're
all right. Here's basically how it started.